Well, hello everyone, and welcome to our IAG Live. This is a test broadcast we're doing today, so we'll see how this goes. And it looks quite nice. I see swirly little black stuff next to me. Friday, this 11th of July today. And look, let's get into it. Let's get into the news of the week from IAG. So I'm just going to pull up this first story here. This is, we'll start in Macau. This is a story that was on IAG on Monday. Citigroup was saying a big start for gaming revenues in Macau. We've had good numbers out of Macau. Macau's gross gaming revenues estimated to reach 4.3 billion for the first 6 days, run rate of 717 million. So what does that imply for July 717, 22.22 divided by 8. So 2.8 billion US times 12 months. Wow, 33.6. So well into the 30s, a run rate of well into the 30s, low 30s billion US for the year. And we had a good number in June as well, and they're attributing some of this to, as you can see here, Jackie Cheung's final 3 shows, 9-show residency. There's a bit of a school of thought at the moment from George Choi at Citigroup that the concerts are helping a lot. So Macau doing very well. Let's move on to the next one. In a related story, Pierce Chan from IAG Tuesday morning, writes, Macau's 2025 visitor arrivals moved past 20 million 26 days earlier than last year. So 8th of July, if it happened on 30th of June, halfway through the year, you could say 40 million, but 8th of July is only a week later, so we're running very close to 40 million, aren't we? And in fact, there's 184 days in the second half of the year, as opposed to 181 days. So 181 plus, let's say, 7.5 days, 188 and a half days. So 20 million divided by 188 and a half times by 365, 38.7 million. So getting close to 39 million visitors to Macau annual run rate for this year. Daily average of 106,000 arrivals. Whereas last year, this milestone reached on the 3rd of August as opposed to the 8th of July. So more visitors this year to Macau, more revenue this year to Macau. Still not back to 2019 levels, but of course we don't have the junkets, and therefore we don't have junket commissions. So even though GGR is running at close to 90% of 2019 levels, I think EBITDA is running well over 100% now. All right, let's move on. What's the next one? Yeah, this is an interesting one. Share that. Macau planning to ban all forms of advertising for gambling activities. I get another one from Pierce here, and I don't really get this very much because pretty much already was banned. B2C, business to consumer gambling advertising was already banned. Let's read together. Planning to amend advertising laws and regulations, proposing a ban on all forms of advertising for gambling activity, including the display of gambling equipment and advertisements. Look, so what happened was the Economic and Technology Development Bureau, which is pushing this, held a press conference during the week. Pierce actually went to the press conference, and they said the main issue here was out-of-home advertising on billboards and such. Doesn't affect B2B advertising, apparently. So Inside Asian Gaming will be okay. But that's what that one is all about. And last one for Macau. We had Macau After Dark on Monday night, the 30th edition of Macau After Dark. Wow, we've done 30 of those since early 2019 when we started. And nice little picture there of Vasco Bar. Thank you to Artisan Grand Lapper for hosting us. And thank you, there's their logo. And thank you to Light and Wonder for being platinum sponsors, and Angel and Aristocrat for being gold sponsors, and our official logistics partner, TKHS2. There's a nice picture of Rutger drawing one of the prizes. There's Ken Jolly being interviewed. Here's the venue. And just a great little night. There's one of our lucky winners winning one of the lucky door prizes. So it was a great night, and the next Macau After Dark will be our Christmas one, believe it or not. We only do 3 a year now, 3 in Macau and 3 in Manila. So Christmas one, which is already scheduled for December the 5th, Friday, December the 5th. And our next MAD will be Manila After Dark at Newport World Resorts on September the 8th, Monday, September the 8th, of course, as part of the IAG Expo. All right, well, let's leave Macau now and move on to the Philippines. A lot of talk in the Philippines at the moment about online gaming. The Pogos, of course, were banned from January 1. No Philippine offshore gaming industry, but the PIGO, as it's so called, the inland gaming industry, is thriving and growing. The remote gaming, as it's also known. But there has been quite a bit of a backlash against it. And this alliance of Philippines fintech companies, this is a story from this morning, coming out to say they will do whatever they need to do. But look, there is, as you can see here, as reported by us, actually we can click on that and go back. That was on Saturday. We reported of last week. We reported on that Sherwin Gatchalian putting this bill forward to, here we go, Sherwin Gatchalian, who was a key player in the complete ban on Pogos, proposed these restrictions. And the main thing they want to do is they want to stop Gcash and Maya from working with online betting operators. 90% of all online financial transactions, are through these two platforms in the Philippines. So just going back now to our article from today, both the President BBM and Chairman Tengo have said they support any restrictions that are imposed if they're implemented correctly. So look, I think there's concern at the moment in the Philippines that there could even possibly be a complete ban. There is some agitation for a complete ban on all online gaming. Look at the bottom paragraph here. Tenko stated in a radio interview earlier this week that regulation was key to ensuring a clean and safe online gaming industry, but made it clear he didn't want to see a complete ban on all online gaming in the country. Well, of course, he would not want to see that, and nor would we. So, but that's going on in the Philippines at the moment. That's quite an issue. Staying in the Philippines now, let's move to LET Group or LET Group. This is a story Ben did this morning as a result of the stock exchange filing. So the 2024 financial year full results was published late yesterday. And obviously LET are trying to get the Hong Kong Stock Exchange to approve the resumption of the trading in their shares currently suspended, as is Summit Ascent suspended. Was suspended, I should say, for reasons that you can read in the story. Both companies, it's been well documented, had this mass walkout of directors. So that's quite interesting. And the main sort of takeaway from that filing was the fact that they're focused completely on the Philippines now. They sold their interest in Hoyana, they've sold their interest in Vladivostok, or Tiga de Cristal, I should say, and they're focused on this West Side City project. But there are concerns at the moment about, do they have enough money to complete the project. And even here, Let is saying they may not be sufficient to complete construction. So I think you'll see IAG has more to say about this in the next few days. But this is a bit of an issue that's going on at the moment in the Philippines. All right, a sip of my coffee. Still in the Philippines. Let's move to this interview I did with Sean Knights, the new COO of New Star. When I say new, he's been there 5 months. Great little interview. Let's just play a little bit of it. Go. Well, everybody, we've got a very exciting interview with Mr. Sean Knights from New Star. Sean, how are you?
Good, Andrew. Thank you very much, and thank you for your time.
Thank you for speaking to the readers and the viewers of 2-minute 51-second interview, and I would encourage you guys to watch that interview. If you want to know more about what's going on in New Star and Sean's new job down there. I went down there actually to New Star last week. Was it last week? It was last week. I spent Monday night and Tuesday night down there, had dinner with Sean after doing this interview, and Trevor Hammond down there, Michael Crispley and Fabio Moretti down there. They're doing well. They're doing well. When I first started going to New Star, it looked very, very under construction, but now it's really coming along, really looks and feels like an integrated resort now. They've got the new hotel, the new New Star Hotel Tower. Previously, it was just the Philly Tower on the left. When you walk in, it's Philly on the left, New Star on the right, instead of a blocked off wall as it was before. And it's looking much, much more complete. The retail mall is being built out or almost completely built out now. And they've got a number of other features there. And a third and possibly even fourth tower is coming, and that's discussed in the interview. So I'd encourage you to read that. All right, let's move on. This one here, just a quick one. Also with New Star, and you can see Sean here again, they've announced this strategic partnership with Plaza Premium Group. So now the players card for New Star will get you into a Plaza Premium lounge at the airport, at Cebu Airport, or at Clark Airport, I believe. All right, enough of the Philippines. Let's move on to Australia. Great news for Crown this week. On Tuesday afternoon, Ben published this story. Crown Perth deemed suitable to maintain casino license after 3-year remediation. So now that's the full suite of all 3 Crown properties, Melbourne, Sydney, Perth, all found suitable to hold a license again. So that's been an amazing remediation process they have been through over many years to get those 3 licenses back. No more babysitter. They're in charge of their own destiny, which is great. So Brian Pereira down there, which is the new CEO, he's in charge, and the relevant minister here, Paul Papalia, I hope I'm saying that right, has now determined Crown Perth has been all overhauled, and highlights all these points here, as implemented adequate and legislative compliant AML, blah, 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 and they've got their license back. So that's great. Fantastic for Crown. More than 5,000 staff at Crown Perth, the former Burswood property. Still in Australia, let's move on to this one. Not so great news at Star. Of course, Star's going through this whole thing with Bally's at the moment, where Bally's have made this 300 million Australian dollar offer, which will see them with 57% ultimately. It hasn't been approved. It's been approved by shareholders now, but it hasn't been approved by the regulator. So we've got to wait for the regulator to do that before Bally's can get into the property and start to try to fix up all of the issues at Star. And This story in specifically is about the Queen's Wharf project, now known as Star Brisbane. So Star, of course, has their flagship property in Sydney, and then also has the Star Gold Coast, the former Jupiters, and they have now this Queen's Wharf property that was opened with Chow Tai Fook and Far East Consortium, with Chow Tai Fook and Far East each having 25% and Star having 50%. And the existing management of Star, pre-Bally's, still Bally's not in there yet, was wanting to sell their 50% share in Queen's Wharf, the Brisbane property, to their partners, Chow Tai Fook and Far East Consortium. And that wasn't going to go through, but now the partners have given them another month to make it go through. So the deal here, 50% stake in the $3.6 billion Australian dollars Star Brisbane, still on the table. A week after Star announced that the partners were going to step away from the agreement, the company's now said in a filing that they're going to leave negotiations open for a month. So it may happen. So the new deadline is July 31, only 20 days from now. Shapes as a critical one because if they don't do that deal, they will have to pay back 36.5 million Australian dollars. Of course, Sue Kim from Bally's, I'm sure it's mentioned here somewhere. Yes, here it is. Has repeatedly stated, including in a recent interview with IAG, that was with me, that his preference is to keep the three properties together. So Sue Kim kind of hopes that this deal doesn't go through. So that's interesting. And a couple of other stories this week, just to highlight some of the issues at Star Brisbane. This one on Sunday last week, there was a strike at Star Brisbane. Don't see that very often. They walked off the job on Friday last week for a few hours, was it? Can't remember, but yeah, they're complaining, the unions there in Brisbane. And here's another one. Unfortunately, the poker tournament that was going to happen at Star Brisbane has been postponed because of this strike action. So again, the hits, as Ben has written on Wednesday, the hits keep coming for Star, and this poker tournament has been postponed. All right, well, let's now move on to Thailand, something that I've been focusing on. It's been bad news after bad news in Thailand. It's really starting to feel like another Japan to a certain extent at the moment. The bill has been withdrawn, now officially on hold as the House votes to remove it from the agenda. So that is probably a good thing, to be honest, because it hasn't been explained well to the Thai people. It wasn't popular. It really needs a range of initiatives to explain it well, much as Singapore did. IAG, we did the Thai Entertainment Complex Roundtable on the 5th of June. That was a step in the right direction, but only one event, of course. And you need many, many events like that to get the message across. Interestingly, one of the biggest anti voices there, Kun Parit. Parit reiterated many of the arguments he put forward at our event, Tekka, but then ultimately opposed the withdrawal of the bill. I think, presumably hoping that the bill would actually go forward and be defeated on the floor of the House. So the bill is off. The whole Thailand thing is off for the moment. We don't know when it will come back. There's obviously a lot of political machinations going on in Thailand at the moment, with the Prime Minister being suspended by the Constitutional Court. She's got, I think, about another week or so to show cause why she should be reinstated. And there's another Prime Minister in power there at the moment. So it's a bit of a mess. And of course, the Bum Chai Thai Party, the coalition partner of Per Thai Party, of the ruling Per Thai Party, has walked from that coalition. So they have a wafer-thin majority in the House at the moment. And of course, as long as we don't have legal casinos in Thailand, we're going to have illegal casinos. And here's yet another story. Thai authorities arrest 70 and bust of illegal Bangkok gambling den. And just yet another story about an illegal casino in Thailand, and they run rampant. And this is one of the reasons why, it would be good for Thailand to have legal casinos, because it would that locals can attend, because it would, to a large extent, put paid to these illegal casinos. And finally, last story on Thailand this week. Thaksin, the former Prime Minister of Thailand and the father of the current Prime Minister, came out during the week and rejected the claim that Chinese tourists are being driven away from Thailand at the moment because of the legislation about casinos. Well, the casino's not even there yet. So that's not really the real reason. I mean, Thaksin's absolutely right in this context. The real reason is safety concerns. So Wang Xing, this Chinese actor, here's the real reason. The earthquake didn't help either. Negative publicity around scam centres on the Thai border following the high-profile kidnapping of Wang Xing. So that's what it's all about. And then he turned up in one of these scam centres in Myanmar, which was no good. So, as Kevin Clayton said at the TECA event, the first and primary concern about a country for visitation purposes, for tourism purposes, is safety. And right now in China, the perception is that Thailand is not safe. That is why tourism is down. And, I tell a lie, there is one more story here. We uploaded this morning, quite interesting, a deeper look at how Singapore introduced casino gaming, possible lessons for Thailand. And this is just a little introductory story by us, really, just to link to these two papers down here. One paper in English and in Thai. So Lau Kok King spoke at the TECA event. He was excellent. He spoke really, really well. And in preparation for his speech, he wrote this long paper. I'll just click on it and go through to it. Here it is. This was really worth a read. Really good. History of casino gambling in Singapore, the legislation debate in 2004, problem gambling. I mean, look how long this is. The responsible gaming framework, but it's really interesting stuff. And, more and more, what happened when the casinos were open, when the two integrated resorts were open, what were the outcomes, post-event studies, and so on and so forth. Quite good. Singapore is a model for Thailand, lessons to be learnt. So this is a paper that, about a 5,000 word paper, really worth reading, bit of a weekend read, really worth reading, quite long. But Lau Kok King from Raja and Tan did a great job there and has written a very, very interesting paper indeed. We've summarized some of the big points from it here in this story here, so go check that out. All right, now I really can move on. We're almost done for this week. Friend of IAG, David Jordan, popular figure in the industry. DJ's got the gig as EVP of gaming at Hoyana under Alan Teo, who was at New Star before Sean Knights. And before that was at Resorts World Sentosa, as was David Jordan. So everyone plays musical chairs from time to time. And David's now joined Hoyana as EVP of Gaming. Interesting to see what happens at Hoyana. Of course, now, and it also relates to the LETX story earlier, LET Group, the former listed entity of Sun City, has let go of their shares in Hoyana. So Hoyana's under new management now, and David's joined the fray. There's David, nice picture of him. And let's see what they can do there. Of course, no locals gaming at Hoyana, but there are some noises in Vietnam. Let's see what happens. Well, more about that later. So congratulations on the new job, David, and we wish you well. And the last story for this week that I want to mention is CDC Gaming, our sister company in the US. Many of you will know that IAG merged with CDC Gaming on the 1st of January. CDC Gaming is basically the IAG of the US or the Americas, Canada, the United States, Latin America, including the Caribbean and the surrounding islands. Yes, the two of us merged IAG and CDC as of January 1. We'd been cooperating and working together in various ways for 7 years beforehand. And then we merged under the Complete Media Group banner. So IAG is now wholly owned by Complete Media Group. CDC is wholly owned by Complete Media Group. So we have the same parent. So we're the same group now. And CDC has launched its 4th annual 10 Women Rising in Gaming in collaboration with Global Gaming Women. So Global Gaming Women is a well-established organisation that promotes women in gaming. And CDC has been doing a 10 Women Rising in Gaming thing since 2023. There was an early 23 and a summer 23. Then there was a summer 24, and now this is summer 25. So this is the 4th one, and nominations are now open. And if you want to nominate a woman in the gaming industry, here are the criteria. Go check the article out. And what we will be doing is, you can see the link here, nominate an individual here. So you can, if I just click on that link, it goes to a web form. There it is, and you can nominate someone. So I just go back. What we will be doing is announcing those winners before G2E in Las Vegas, and then we'll be having a little ceremony for those winners at an event that CDC will be running on Sunday, October the 5th, the day before G2E. So if anyone watching this is going to be in Las Vegas for G2E on Sunday, October the 5th, drop us a line and we might be able to get you an invitation to that event. Invitations are a bit limited, but we might be able to do that. And that will be CDC's Day Zero party. So that we call it the Day Zero party because it's Day Zero of G2E, Day 1, the next day. We haven't announced where that's going to be, but it's going to be on a strip property, and we'll be announcing that very, very soon. All right. Well, there's sort of the stories that I wanted to cover in this week. Let's see if I can just flick back to this layout. There we go. And I'm having a play with this streaming thing. That's my first go at using this streaming, and hopefully it went well. There are many more features on our streaming platform that we can use, which we're not using yet, but this is a start. So thanks for that, and we will see you next time on whatever we're calling it, IAG Fridays at the moment. Bye for now. See you next week. Enjoy the weekend.